All right, today I'd like to talk about MetaHumans. Okay, I'm super excited about MetaHumans. I feel like really cool, quick way to create super realistic humans. I've never seen this kind of level of complexity made so easy. So I kind of want to show you what that's all about, how to create some, custom characters, and show you even how to get started. So I'm at Unreal.com, and you can see that's talking about the digital humans made easy. Now, if you download Unreal Engine 5, I believe that they're actually inside of that program. But if you have anything before Unreal 5, you have to go to a different site. You have to go to Quixel.com, Quixel.com, and then if you go to just Quixel, it looks like this. And then if you go to products, you have to go to bridge. Okay, and when I click on bridge, you'd click download bridge, and that will download essentially kind of the software that you need. And then once you have that downloaded, then you're ready to rock and roll. So I have it downloaded right here, and this is what Quixel Bridge looks like. It looks like I have it launched twice accidentally. There we go. This is what Bridge looks like, and I can see that they have a bunch of 3D assets. So not only do they have humans, but they have rocks and environments, and maybe I'll do a video on that at some point in the future. But man, awesome stuff here. But the MetaHumans are right here. Okay, so if I click on this, I can see that here's the MetaHumans. And by the way, I'm logged into my account, so you would need to log into your Epic Games account through Quixel. And if you're having trouble, if you had an old Quixel account, you may need to kind of sign up again through Epic Games. It's kind of confusing, or it's kind of weird how they have that. But you have to kind of log in, and then once you log in, you can see that they have the presets here, and then if you make any, you can save them here. And you can see here some that I was kind of doing examples with some people. I'll just go to the presets here, and basically think about this as your starting point. Okay, what kind of character do you want to create? And this is just kind of a starting point for you. And you can see that there's a lot of MetaHumans. Looks like there's 74 starting points that they give you. And if you're like, well, I want to make myself, or I want to make a celebrity, and nobody looks exactly like me, well, that's all right, because you'll see how easy it is to edit these. Okay, so I'll just let me see here. I'm just going to go grab a person. Maybe I'll grab Hudson here. And we'll talk about some of these things later. You can see that you can put a heart to favorite them. And then you can also hit the download button and send it to your favorite applications such as Maya, Unreal, Blender, ZBrush, all that kind of stuff. But I'll go ahead and click on Hudson. And I can see here that it says MetaHuman uses grooms available at LOD 0 and 1, requiring higher spec machine. So if you have if your computer is kind of slow, maybe you go with one that has a little bit simpler hair. But I'll go ahead and kind of use this guy. And I'm going to say Start MHC. This is MetaHuman Creator. So if I go ahead and click on that, now it's going to go ahead and launch this. And at least I was doing this about a year ago. And so March of 2021, I believe, and kind of got on a waiting list where they had to kind of approve. I don't know if they're still doing that, but basically they don't want everybody to kind of jam the servers at once, because what I'm about to do is going to be creating the MetaHuman virtually on their system. Okay, and I know that's really awesome, because I feel like it just kind of requires you to have a good internet connection. But you're kind of using the processing power of their servers. And then what happens is that when you're done creating your human, then you can send it once again to your local computer. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pause and let this kind of log in. Okay, so it took a couple minutes to load, and it might have not actually dropped you on the character that you selected before, but I'm on Create MetaHumans, and then you can pick your starting point here. So it seems a little redundant, but I feel like I just picked Hudson. And by the way, if I hold down Alt or if I just left mouse click, you can see that I can move around in here, or I can use the middle mouse wheel, and you can get super, super close to these. And I feel like it's incredible how much detail this has, because I feel like the human face is actually one of the hardest things to really do right in CG. Actually, yeah, I'm holding down Alt, and you have to Alt and left mouse button to get started, and then middle mouse to kind of wheel in. And let's say if I want to use this, I'm just going to go ahead and hit next. And now our character does kind of a preview. Okay, so he does, you can see that he's moving around to kind of test the deformations of his, of skin, things like that. I can also change that if I go here. Here's face range of motion. And this will kind of test some extremes. So once we kind of make some edits, we'll kind of see how it looks if our character, is looking around or what they're doing. I can also do the body, technical range of motion. Now, it's kind of weird because I'm not seeing his whole body, but I feel like if I go like this, I can just zoom out with the middle mouse wheel, and then I can kind of gum up here. Okay. And we can kind of see the whole body range of motion test. I'm just going to go back to the original, so idle. And now, by the way, on the cameras, I can go here, and you can see here, face, body, torso, legs, feet, and far. I'm just going to go back to face, and these are the shortcuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go back to the face. And then, if I ever wanted to pause this, I could just pause. I could even kind of drag through and pause at a particular location if I wanted to. I'm just going to kind of put them back to the original. And then I feel like for the lighting, they have actually, I think as of today, I'm recording this on the 20th of January, they have a lot of cool different lighting. So here's indoor lighting. Here's some outdoor lighting. Here's just the silhouette. Some split lighting. Fireside. Moonlight. Okay, and some others. I mean, just incredible lighting scenarios here. And then you can also, looks like here, I can rotate the lighting if I wanted to, and you can see kind of the effect that that has on the character as well. And I could also blur out the background if I wanted to. So once again, just really cool, just really simple stuff. And this lighting isn't necessarily going to come into another program if you send it to Unreal or Maya, but at least it helps you see the character better. I'll just put it back to studio lighting. And then also here, so I can go to what render quality am I having. And it looks like there's it's glitching out here a little bit, so I feel like my computer's not very happy with me right now. And if that's the case, I can kind of put the specs down a little bit. You can see the Epic Ray Trace. These would be even higher quality than we're looking here. LOD, okay, so if I go to Auto LOD, that just means if I zoom back, it might kind of swap out at a lower resolution. So if I go here, and if I go to LOD 0, LOD 1, here's LOD 7. Okay, you might say, well, what the heck? Well, this is if the character was so far back, actually even farther back than that, in a crowd, it would be basically simplified so it's easier for the computer that can understand it. And you can see here that each one is kind of like doing the appropriate level of detail. And really what that means is that an LOD 0 is kind of the highest level that it can get. But if I have auto level of detail, that means that if I zoom out, eventually he would just kind of, there's not as many polygons, not as much detail there to kind of maximize computer resources. And then if we go super close, it's actually swapping out with a higher resolution mesh. So all that's kind of built in for us. I can also toggle the material color on or off here. I could hide the hair, once again, kind of simplify it on the computer. And then here's the hotkey reference. So if you want to kind of move around, and you can see here's those shortcuts for the face and the body and everything. Also how to rotate the lighting and zooming in and out, that kind of stuff. But okay, enough about that. let's talk about how to kind of alter this guy. So if I go to the face, if I go to blend, okay, this is just one way that we can kind of alter the face, and I feel like this is a really cool way. I can, oh, it says stop the animation, so I have to hit stop. That's why it was glitching out probably. There we go. Okay, so now I can go like this, and I can choose other characters. So for example, I could say I want my character to have the bone structure, let's say the nose bone structure of this person. I'm going to drag that up here. I want the chin structure of this guy. And I want, I don't know, some attributes of this person here. Then if you wanted even more, you could drag even more in there. But now watch this. So if I go to the nose, for example, and if I drag up, because she is up there, it's going to be closer to her nose. And then if I drag over here, this is going to be closer to his nose, or closer to that nose. Or if I kind of go in between, it's going to be kind of a combination of the noses. Now what's neat about this, and if I go back to the middle, it's back to Hudson's nose, the original. But what's neat about that is the fact that it's kind of I'm going to call it a legal nose. In other words, I feel like it's kind of affecting the bone structure, the skin, the stretching, the musculatureness underneath it. I can go here to the cheeks, and you can see that I can change the kind of the cheek bones. Here's the mouth. This would be her mouth. This would be his mouth, and then the other guy's mouth, and so on and so forth. All of that. So what you would do, let's say if you're making yourself, you would kind of say, which one of these does my nose look like the most? Okay, it doesn't really matter if it's male or female. You could kind of figure out what nose it kind of looks like, or maybe what kind of bone structure, chin structure do I have, and then you can kind of alter that as well. I mean, you could blend it there. Now, let's say if you didn't want that, you could also go to the move. And on the move, I can click on these, and I could manually move it. Okay, so I don't have to control, I don't have to work with what they gave me. And you can see that I'm kind of creating a character that is, you know, maybe doesn't exist from the blends here. So I'm just kind of altering this and making it kind of whatever I want. And it's cool because I feel like how it is, I have, it's affecting more than one attribute. It's kind of affecting a lot of things in that region. So now I could also do this. I could also go to the sculpt mode. And when I'm in the sculpt mode, it's going to be the most kind of precision that I can get. So I feel like now I'm just sculpting a particular region. Think about move as kind of like sculpt modes kind of grouped together and kind of working together. For example, all the nose ones kind of work together. But now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of doing one at a time. And I could click on this button to turn symmetry off. Okay, so now I'm just kind of working on one side and not the other side. And you can see that when I do it, it's not that the other side doesn't move at all. I feel like if I move it, it will kind of be affected somewhat. And then you can see that the sculpting plane I can change it for the screen or the closest plane. But I'm going to enable symmetry so I can average it. Oh, that's kind of cool. But I'm just going to kind of leave it there. And now let's say with this character, I can just hit preview at any point, and this character is going to start moving. And you can see how much I altered Hudson. He looks like a completely different person, yet it's still very realistic. So kind of creepy. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And now let's go to the skin. Okay, so if I go to skin, I can see here's, first of all, texture is kind of how old the character is. So I can see here that there's not a lot of texture, or we could even say wrinkles. And then if I go further, I can see that there's a lot of wrinkles. Okay, contrast I can kind of change that for the, you can just kind of the color in the face. I can see that, you know, kind of the purples coming through. And roughness is going to be kind of how shiny or not shiny. So you can see here it almost looks like wet skin. I'm just going to kind of leave that in the center. Here's freckles, and I can give, you know, more or less freckles. Here's the strength of the freckles. Okay, cool. And even accents, so I can kind of add some redness, you know, to the cheeks, to the chin, to the forehead, or you know, kind of if the character's a little bit more flush, you can kind of see their rosy cheeks or something like that. Once again, if you're working on a reference, that might be beneficial to, you can kind of mimic that. Eyes, okay, I can go in here and I can change the color of the eyes. I can also go into the iris, and I can get really detailed here. So if I come in here, I can kind of change the iris, and I can change it for both or just left and right. So they can be different. They can be different colors, and you can see you can kind of play with the you know, the settings here, and also the sclera. Okay, so the kind of the clear part over. Here's the brightness of it. Also the number of veins. Okay, so maybe like got a lot of veins kind of happening there. Vein rotation. So once again, really cool things that you can affect there. Teeth. Okay, now if I go to teeth, I can see here's the teeth, and I can go variation. Tooth length, you can see that I can kind of like make that bigger or smaller. I can also go here, change these sliders. Here's separation of teeth. Kind of offsetting the jaw. And you can see how easy they made it, so it's just kind of like simple sliders where it's not meant to be complicated. It's meant for you to kind of get in here, play around with these controllers, and kind of see, you know, kind of see what you come up with. I can add plaque. Here's the gum color. Here's the plaque amount. Okay, you can see that I'm making kind of an interesting character here that has a lot of kind of things going on, and I kind of like that, you know, to kind of show the capability or the possibility here. And obviously you can do whatever you want. Okay, now if I go to makeup, I could add foundation. Here's some you know, eye makeup, things like that. Blush if I wanted to, or the lips. And with the lips I could add lipstick, and I could make that shiny or not, right? I could change the color of it. I'm just going to leave it to none for now, but you, once again, you can see you could do makeup. But now, moving on from the face, I'm going to go to the hair. So if I go to the head, and I can see that this guy has pretty extreme hair, but I can just click on this and I can simply change the hair. And I feel like the hair with the MetaHumans is one of the most impressive things. It just seems like it's done really, really well. And you can see that they have some different styles. I mean, a lot of different styles here. And it just works, right? With that, whatever character you have, at any time, once again, I can just hit play and I can see my character come alive. I can see what's going on with it, and you know, if it's making it, you know, how I like it. But you can see that a lot of different hairstyles here. And once again, this warning sign on some of these is saying that the hair is only going to work at LOD 0 and LOD 1. So remember this, LOD 0 and LOD 1. So on this guy, let's see, it looks like this one has that. But like on this one here, this one doesn't have that warning. So that means that the hair should work in all the LODs. So not just 0 and 1. If I go to 2, I can see that the hair is still there. 3, 4, all the way to 7. Okay, so if it was a crowd, it's saying that if he's way in the distance, it's still going to look like he has hair. Where on someone like this, it's only going to work on LOD 0 and 1, and then these are not going to, it's going to look like he's bald, basically from LOD 2 to LOD 7. So if you're going to have a background character, some of these hairstyles won't currently work, okay? I don't really concern myself with it. I feel like I just want to kind of create a cool looking character right now. But with the hairstyles, I'll maybe find something that has a little bit more hair. Maybe this one here. Okay, and salt and pepper, that just means, you know, is it going to be gray or not, or just kind of a little bit of gray. Roughness is how shiny. Here's the color of the hair. Eyebrows, obviously I can adjust those. And all of these kind of decisions that you're making is really going to kind of affect the kind of the personality, you know, of the character or the look of them. I mean, significantly, obviously. Here's eyelashes. Okay, you can pick that. Once again, salt and pepper for eyelashes to make it gray or black. Mustache. Okay, I could give a mustache. Beard. Here's beard. If I want to take off his beard, I can click on that. Okay, now he doesn't have a beard. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. So if I hit play, once again, the character just immediately comes to life, and we can see all the wrinkles in the neck, all of the characteristics of the person, and you know, there's so many different combinations that the odds that somebody would have exactly the same character would be pretty low, right? If I go to skin here, I can even do this. I can go here and I can go like this, and we can see how once again how that changes. Okay, this character. There we go. Now I'm not making the world's most attractive metahuman here, but I feel like just kind of getting the ideas down. If I go to proportion, I can choose different body types. And once again, if I look here, I could just press 2 for the body cam. And now I can go and I can change different, you know, kind of skinny, fit, or tall. I'm just going to go to the this one here. I could also do kind of female bodies as well. Here's, oh, and I'm on tall right here. Here's average and short. So you can kind of choose that. Tops, this would be clothing. Okay. I could have none, or I could have the hoodie, sweatshirt, or this. Now, so this is going to be kind of limited to, you know, there's not a lot of different clothing types right now, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the hoodie. Bottoms, you can see that there's a few bottoms. Here's even shorts. Okay, and here's jeans. Maybe I'll just kind of leave it at that. And then here's some shoes as well. And once again, not a lot of styles there on the clothing. I feel like the MetaHuman, I feel like the body still looks pretty good, but I feel like it's really the face that shines on these MetaHumans that looks really cool. So once again, I can blend faces together to really kind of get me started. I'm just going to go ahead and press 1. I could blend faces together, or I could move parts and sculpt and really kind of get that to be whatever I want. Or I can hit sculpt and now I have kind of a little bit more fine control. I can adjust the skin. I can adjust the eyes, makeup, and teeth. I can also adjust the hair, eyebrows, mustache. Now you might be saying, well, I want a different hairstyle that they don't offer. Well, then you'd be kind of out of luck, okay? And you can't really mix hair together. So I feel like just do the best with what they have, and they kind of are actually adding more things. They're adding more metahumans. You know, since I've started, I've seen more kind of get added to that. So once you're done, then you can just, it looks like all changes are saved. And then if I go back to my metahumans here, then I feel like yeah, we can see here Hudson is in here. So I feel like here's some kind of other ones that I've created, just kind of having some fun with this. But once again, just a really, really awesome way to build these characters. And I have a video that shows you, this is a little bit more involved one. It's a premium course that is shows you how to bring these characters into Unreal and actually have them as a game character. So when you press spacebar, they jump, and when you you can kind of move around and see them third person or whatever. Really, really cool. But that's a lot more involved. And so I feel like I just kind of thought I would walk you through the MetaHuman Creator on Bridge. But if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. And make sure you like and subscribe for more kind of tips and tricks in the future.